Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Life is short, and it's full of a lot of interesting questions. What does happiness really mean? How do I get the most out of my time here on Earth? And what really is the best cereal? These are the questions I seek to resolve on my weekly podcast, Life is Short with Justin Long. Follow Life is Short wherever you get your podcasts. You can also listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens. 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 Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the wonderful and hilarious Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are ya?
I'm good. Very excited to be here. It's a big week for us on the podcast because we had premieres of New Jersey. Today we're talking about the premiere of Vanderpump Rules Season 10. We also put the ballot up for the Golden Crappies. If you missed that, you can go to watchwhatcrappens.com. We've already had many thousands of votes, literally. It's always so fun when the ballot comes out. I'm really excited about the categories this year. Just to give you a taste, like Best Bravo Show of the Year, we've got Family Karma, Real Girlfriends in Paris, Beverly Hills, Miami, New Jersey, Potomac, Ultimate Girls Trip 2. And I'll also tell you about Bravo Celebrity of the Year. We've got Candace from Potomac. What a turnaround. Chanel Ayan, Dr. Nicole Martin from Miami, Garcelle Beauvais, Grace Lilly, Karen Huger, Kenya, Lisa Barlow, Margaret Josephs, Quad Webb, Shannon Storms, Bedore. Those are just two of the many categories that we have. So go vote. It's just make your voice heard. Okay, make sure the right person wins for the job.
Be heard. Be heard. This is America. Okay?
Yeah, we actually have more categories than we've had in a long time. So what we're going to do is we're going to announce the winners of some of the categories the night before in Phoenix, because on the 23rd we're going to Phoenix/Scottsdale to do a show. So we'll do some categories there, and then the big show, the main show, will be at the Wiltern on February 24th. We have many guests lined up, a lot of guests. They're all going to be super fun. We're really excited for you guys to see them. Danny Pellegrino is going to be there, Amy Phillips. We've got Walter and Katie, and many more. Walter and Katie, of course, are our house band, the Crappers. So do come. Go to watchwhatcrappens.com to get your tickets. You can go to watchwhatcrappens.com to vote. That's where the link is to vote. And of course, don't forget about all our other shows. In case you missed it, we're also, after the Crappies are done, we're going to Charlotte, Atlanta, Denver, Salt Lake City, Seattle, San Francisco, Toronto, Philadelphia, New York City, DC, San Diego, St. Paul, Chicago, Columbus, Boston, and Mashantucket, Connecticut for the Foxwoods Resort and Casino. And lastly, this is a Crappens on Demand episode. So go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens and watch us here on beautiful Crappens on Demand, waving at you. That's all the news.
Yes.
I'm massively backlit at the moment, and I apologize. I'll try to close these blinds to help the lighting.
So I am COVID-y today. I have COVID, and I actually had it last time we were recording and didn't know. I was like, why am I such a bitch today? And then I was like, it's nature. You're a bitch every day. And then I was like, yeah, but why am I a bitch with a headache? It was COVID, okay? And the only reason I'm even telling any of you that is because on Crappens on Demand, you're still going to hear me cough occasionally, but I will try and erase it out of the regular audio. So this is actually an anti-advertisement for Crappens on Demand. But I just wanted to apologize to the video people for coughing in your face. I will do my best.
If you ever want to see COVID in action, come tune in. You know who knew you had COVID on Monday, actually? This guy. Of course you had COVID. I was like, I'll just wait for him to get the results. I was like, Ronnie has COVID. Ronnie totally has COVID.
Well, my thing for COVID is, am I hungry? No, not am I hungry. Can I taste?
Yeah,
Can I taste? That's my thing. Because it could be a cold, whatever, who cares? But when you can't taste shit, I mean, that is like sacrilege to me to not taste. I mean, that's just horrible. So what I did was I called Instacart and I got a lot of drumsticks, the ice cream cone, unwrappable things.
Yeah.
I got like an 8-pack of those, and I just sat there, and I had the chills really bad, and I had the sweats. Like, it's just really bad. COVID's such a fucking monster, But I sat there, and I was like, fuck you, COVID. And then I just ate drumstick after drumstick. I didn't give a shit that I couldn't taste it. It tasted like kind of metallic in my mouth or something, and I was like, guess what? I'm here for the mouthfeel. Suck a dick, COVID.
For the mouthfeel.
And I feel like a very proud American today.
Well, in all seriousness, I hope you get better very soon because, and actually your timing is really impeccable, as I was saying off the air, because we have 2 weeks until the crappies. So this is the perfect window for you to get COVID and be done with it. So
well, I'm glad my COVID was convenient for you.
Well, yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, that's really what I care most about. So
yeah. So it was great. Also, what's so crazy? It's like I've had COVID before, so I wasn't that shocked by anything that happened, but I still felt just kind of like gross about it. And it's the same time Vanderpump Rules came back on, and I share the same feelings. So, sometimes you really have to wonder what you're feeling things about. Is this an illness, or is Vanderpump Rules just back in my blood?
Yeah. There's something about Vanderpump Rules that feels like a fresh new illness coursing through your body,
Yeah, it's like it's like an illness you're familiar with, but yeah, it's new back in your bloodstream, back to wreak havoc.
Yeah, and like the 1-2 punch of Vanderpump Rules and Teresa Giudice at the same time. I don't think we've normally had that before. I think normally Vanderpump Rules has been paired with like Beverly Hills or other shows, but to pair Vanderpump Rules with New Jersey, that's a real potent shot. That's like COVID saying, "Oh, you thought you got rid of me. I'm coming back stronger. Here's a new variant. It's called the Teresa Scheana variant, and you're gonna get it in your blood."
So much in 1 week. So much that there's stuff I don't even notice. I mean, we watched all of Jersey. We talked about it. We did the preview the week before, talked very deeply about it. And it wasn't until last night that I thought, man, Teresa Giudice really came back as a cinnamon Pop-Tart, burnt, flung out of the toaster, dropped into a deep fryer, and then just like left for dead in the middle of a bowling alley lane.
Yeah, she sort of looks like one of those Burger King French toast sticks now,
Yeah. Okay, so Pump Rules. Wow. Okay, so anybody who hates Lala, just dip out now, okay? Lala and Katie have somehow managed to already turn this into the Lala and Katie redemption season, where I guess they're like the heroines of the universe this season. And you know how long that's going to last for me, right? Because I'm already over that shit. I ain't buying that.
Well, look, if Candace Dillard Bassett could have a turnaround season, I mean, anything could really happen, I have to say.
Well, but Candace is doing it by doing she's being proactive. She's like doing her music career and getting degrees and like growing up. Like she's not as immature with people, and like you see Candace like growing up as a human being, like, and as a viewer, even someone who was made crazy by Candace for years, even people like me have to be like, damn, that guy, you got to give that girl credit. I mean, she's really growing as a person,
she is.
But Lala coming out here with this shock that fucking Rand is a low rent Harvey Weinstein. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm supposed to start crying for you. Get the fuck out of here, Lala.
Oh, I agree. I think actually what I'm most surprised at is the new versions of Raquel and Tom Schwartz that have been presented to us. I'm actually not on Tom Schwartz's side with the whole Rand thing. I think he's an idiot for playing pickleball with Rand. I think he shouldn't be playing pickleball in the first place, but I think that Lala actually Scheana has a point. This is crazy. What a new phase we're in. Scheana has a point. But like, he could have played pickleball with anyone. He did not have to wait for Rand. But that being said, Tom Schwartz has a little bit of an edge to him now. I think it's not that it's new. I think he's finally unleashing it. I feel like he's finally allowing himself to not do the, oh, shucks. He's got like his like inner assholes coming out a lot more in a way that I actually appreciate. And then also Raquel's like a new person, right? Raquel I am retroactively feeling terrible for Raquel because I think she was living in fear with James, to be totally honest. The way she was like so carefree and could string together sentences without trembling made me really feel like she was probably self-monitoring every word she said when she was with James.
Oh, yeah.
She seems a lot happier and like
I honestly didn't
now.
see a huge change with Raquel myself. Maybe I will as the season goes on, but it still looks to me like she's just looking for something to glom onto. But it was very nice to not see her with James because I really like Raquel. I think she's a really nice girl. And, you know, we said it, and I don't think that we have to be psychic to have said this. I'm sure a lot of people thought this in the very beginning, but James seemed to have been cast as like the new Jax, you know, because the old Jax was already old Jax when the show started.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was.
His shelf life really wasn't long, you know. You need to have like the shelf life of baloney to be on this show. And I think that James does. And everyone called him new Jax, and he literally is already Jax. Isn't it crazy? Yeah. Like he literally is he's Jax with the new laptop.
Yeah. He's like Jax with a MacBook Pro, as opposed to Jax, who's just Jax with like an old 1990.
Girl, you know Jax has like an Acer Chromebook that he puts like a fucking Apple sticker on the front of it.
Lenovo.
You know? Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought Raquel seemed like a little bit more self-possessed in a way that we hadn't seen before, and I was like, okay, I'm intrigued to see this new Raquel. A little sad for her. A little sad that Peter has been her first stop on the Liberation Express. But you know, she just sometimes you just. I
feel like Peter is that stop for a lot of people.
I know. He's there ready to collect people. You know, he's like the person. He's like the guy at the airport who has an unmarked taxi cab who's like, you need a ride. You're like, well, I just got here and I don't feel like making a decision. So sure, I'll do this.
He's that pony that doesn't kick anybody, you know? And so when the group goes riding, they're like, start with that pony, you know? And then you can move up to something a little bit better or whatever.
I didn't know there was like a starter pony.
Oh, yeah. There's like the nice pony. When you go on pony trips, pony riding trips, there's always that person who's like, oh my God, horses. And they're like, that's a nice pony. Like it literally has never kicked anybody. And it's short, you know? And so they make you ride that one.
The nice pony. Well, so
that's Peter, also change your hair, dude. What season is this? It's season 10. Do something. My God, he
did something,
man.
No, Ronnie, he did something. Don't you remember? He got his hair short, and it just was not the same. I actually support Peter going back to the long hair because I think that's really his sweet spot. Because the short hair thing was a little wonky.
You know whose hair I support?
Who?
Season whatever Katie's blonde hair that was so terrible that we all hated.
Oh,
I want it back. 3? I need it back. I think I need it back.
Wow, you want the orange?
I need
hair
it back. God, I want to take off my shirt. Is that weird? But
yeah,
I want that weird blonde hair back. I think it's looking back across all of her terrible hair choices over the years. That's the best. I have to say that's the best. I'm sticking with it. Raquel's still an empty vessel. Okay, I'm going to say that too.
She's an empty vessel, but her actual vessel seems to be not as fragile. Like she went from being a delicate, fragile,
I like that,
vase to now like a sturdy ceramic vase you get at Target. So
she's like my hydro jug as compared to my 1877 bottle.
Wow, that's a great comparison. There was something else. You know, I'm surprised that Katie, speaking of Katie's hairstyles, isn't it surprising that Katie never went for like a hard bang, like a hard, maybe like a rockabilly bang even? Because I feel
think
like
she did.
She did?
I think she's gone for a bang before.
Because I feel like she sees herself a little bit as like a hipster, right? Isn't her Instagram title or handle is something like "Music Kills Katie"? Remember, she wanted to be a music executive. She wanted to be a
music exec, yeah.
And so, like, I'm surprised she didn't do kind of like an East Side, like a hard bang, like I'm edgy, like faux edgy. You know, she just never.
What's
even
Katie's
bothered.
name? Katie what?
Her last name?
Yeah. What's her last name? What is it?
Kristen Dode, Stassi Schroeder, and Katie
Schwartz. I mean,
No, we know.
But
No, we know her
that?
name. I know everyone's killing us. Katie. I can't believe I purged her last name. Katie. Because we have
Maloney. Katie
Maloney. 'Cause we have
Maloney.
a listener who once came up to us at a VIP and said, "My name's Katie Maloney, but I'm not the same Katie Maloney. Don't hate me."
Okay, I'm putting in Katie Maloney bangs.
Okay.
Let me see here.
See what you find. You can share. With
Yeah,
Crappens on
she
Demand.
did have some bangs. Yeah,
Hard
she said
bangs,
they're
though?
not hard here. Do you want me to share you the screen?
She
so
almost-
you can
yeah.
see it too.
She
By the
almost-
way, everybody, we know this recap is going to be 90 hours. I'm literally delirious. Just chill. It'll be fine.
COVID
We're all gonna-
Ronnie. COVID Ronnie is a fun Ronnie.
I give even less of a fuck today. Okay, let's
By
see.
the way, I didn't think you were bitchy on Monday at all. Just so you know.
Really? That's so nice.
Oh, so
I
these are
was-
like normal bangs. These are I'm thinking like a hard. Like remember, what was like Kenley? Was her name Kenley Collins? On Project
Kenley
Runway?
Collins. Oh my God, from Project Runway. She's a listener to this show. Hi, Kenley. If you're out there, we
Hi,
love you.
Kenley. Well,
One of the best
Kenley-
villains on TV. Come back, Ken.
I didn't know that. That's so cool. But Kenley, I thought Katie would have like a Kenley Collins bang sort of look.
You know whose bangs this girl has? You remember the models on Below Deck Adventure, and they were with the like pimp, and they were all like call girls, but
Yeah.
he was pretending to be like he
Oh,
was
yeah,
taking
the
modeling
dominatrix.
pictures. The dominatrix who had those little like tiny bangs that they're like an inch of
Yeah,
bangs
like
that just kind of stick out like they're like, I dare you to call me ugly. Those bangs. That's what thought Katie would show up with this season.
Or maybe like Katie might have like one of those sort of like asymmetric or maybe she would sort of do like a shag or I don't know. Like I'm surprised she just never quite made it to edgy, and I feel like she wants to be that, but she knows deep down inside she's just her origins are waitress in WeHo, and like that's not the same as being a hipster from Silver Lake or Echo Park.
Yeah. So let's see. So it starts with a dong and black and white memories of a wedding. Katie and Schwartz. A Wednesday wedding. You could tell by the filter they use. They use that like sad Wednesday wedding filter.
Yeah, which the Wednesday wedding does a lot of heavy lifting on the sadness part, and so the filter they don't even really need, but they add it just because they're completionists. But yeah, that sad Wednesday wedding.
And clips
God.
Schwartz going, I stand before my dream girl, and I can honestly say I've never loved you more on a hump day. And Katie's like, at times I thought my world would end because I can't imagine a world without you in it on a hump day.
And we also see the classic shot of Tom Sandoval wiping his nose on the dog. So now it's today. And Katie and Tom take seats, like in interview seats. They each take a separate one. It's like Kramer versus Kramer. It's like lamer versus lamer. So
Tamer versus lamer. Like, what a boring couple to be obsessed over. This has always been the couple you're afraid moves next door to you, invites you over for game night. Everyone is afraid of this fucking couple. Not only have we had to worry about them, are they going to get married? No, they aren't going to get married. Oh, is he giving her a ring or is it just a ring on a string? Oh my God, they are getting married? Oh my God, who's allowed to come to their wedding? Oh my God, they're having a wedding. Oh, no one cares. We all hate you. You are the lamest ass couple on this show, and we're still hearing about it 10 years later.
And they're probably like their game night. They're like, have you ever heard of Cards Against Humanity? It's hilarious. Yes, it came out 13 years ago. After you play it once, it's not funny anymore. It's funny the first time. It's hilarious the first time. But it's been 13 years. Fill in the blank for like anal poop cum is like not as funny anymore. So anyway,
This couple was created because they needed a roommate, and one of them showed up on Craigslist while the other one was living there already, right? Isn't that their love story? That like
something like that.
The Toms and Jacks were all roommates, and then they needed someone to pay rent, so Katie came off of Craigslist and then ended up shagging Schwartz.
Something like that. It's such a rich and complicated backstory. So now they both take their seats because it's like they're both sitting down for a one-on-one with the producers. And the producers are like, are you ready to talk about this? As if they are not champing at the bit to talk about it. Of course they're ready to talk about it. They're literally reality stars. They've been waiting for months to talk about it.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, let's dive in. Let's do it. Yeah. So Katie says, after 12 years together and 5 years of marriage, I went to Tom last winter and I asked him for a divorce. At which point I was like, standing ovation. I was like, you've done enough, Katie. You've already won the season.
Oh, I feel like my whole world just kind of dissipated in that moment, you know? Actually, it wasn't that moment. I really didn't hear when she said it. But then the dinger went off and I said, hey, would you get those dingers? She said, I'm not getting the cookies out for you anymore. I'm divorcing you. I said, what? When did you tell me that? She said, I told you that 20 minutes ago before I put in the cookies. You goddamn sausage head. I said, you did? I didn't hear you. And she said, that's why I'm divorcing you.
He would have a 20-minute delayed response to getting divorced.
He's just not listening to Katie at all.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
It's really hard to stick with working out.
Oh my God, it's really, really hard.
Me too. And it's a new year and it's really time to get our butts in shape. And you know what? Peloton makes it really easy.
Oh my God, you know I'm a big Peloton fan because Peloton is more than just a bike. You probably already know that Peloton makes bikes, but what you may not know is that they also make treadmills. And no, not all treadmills are the same. With the Peloton Tread, you can seamlessly adjust your speed and it can automatically adjust your incline while you're taking a class so you never break your stride. I have used a Peloton Tread and I can attest that this is what happens. It is a lovely, lovely experience. And by the way, it's also not that big. I was shocked by how compact it is.
Because nothing gets you moving like the perfect song, Peloton offers the best playlist with a variety of genres. Whether you're looking for EDM, 90s pop, something soulful, Peloton has music to fit your mood.
It's fitness for all levels. Like, you don't have to be a super athlete to enjoy Peloton because there are classes for every level. Whether you're squeezing in a power walk or training for a marathon, Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals.
Try Peloton Tread risk-free with a 30-day home trial.
New members only, not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
Meet Jill Evans. Jill's got it all. A big house, fast car, 2 kids and a great career. But Jill has a problem. When it comes to love, Jill can never seem to get things right. And then along comes Dean.
I can't believe my luck. Whoa, I've hit the jackpot.
It looks like they're going to live happily ever after. But on Halloween night, things get a little gruesome.
This is where the shooting happened outside a building society in New Romney. It's thought the 42-year-old victim was killed after he opened fire on police.
And Jill's life is changed forever. From Wondery and novel comes Stolen Hearts, a story about a cop who falls in love with a man who is not all he seems to be. I'm Kerry Godliman. Follow Stolen Hearts on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.
Let's also not forget that this is a marriage that was built on the foundation of river water, as in he literally swam in like a river or a stream 20 minutes before his wedding and didn't take a shower. Okay?
Yeah. So Katie's like, we've had a lot of issues. I'm like, yeah, you have. One of which was your blonde hair, which they immediately clip back to as one of their issues. Yeah, they're like, here's their issues. That time Katie went blonde. And then
of course they show him dumping the tequila on her head. Classic. Who would have thought? I thought they were a forever couple.
I know. And so she's like, yeah, I've never been a priority to him. And he's like, yeah, she laid it all out and it made perfect sense. I can't really tell you what she said because mostly I was just so sad. But also I was eating chocolate chip cookies, which she's gotten really good at by now.
It was amazing. She made them all different letters. They were, let's see, there was a D and an I and a V and an O and an R and a C and an E and then an M and then an E and then a question mark. Yeah.
Diversamy. Yeah, we're really into that in this household.
So Katie's like, I realize I'm not the only one going through a heartbreak, but I'm also the only one who's closest to a heartbreak that people might care about. So that's why we're starting with me. But James and Raquel called off their engagement and then Lala left Randall and they have a baby together. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that's kind of funny, right? That
Yeah.
no one can just have their own storyline. Like last year, people got married. You know, people had their engagement party. Scheana's trying to steal the engagement party. It was like the wedding year. Scheana got her year. Then Kate. Everybody wants their year, and no one can just have their year.
Well,
you know?
People get their years, but the one person who's never been able to get her own year is Lala. She has a baby, but Scheana has a baby. Scheana gets seniority. It's like she gets engaged, but so does like Scheana and James and Stassi. Even if Stassi were still on the show, like everyone get engaged. Like this sounds so dark, but like her dad died, which is tragic. But then Jax's dad died. Like literally every like good and bad life event, she's decided to leave Rand, but Katie's left Tom. Like she wrote a book that got onto like number 12 on the New York Times. Stassi wrote a book that got to number 1 or something. It's like she can't even get the book storyline.
Yeah. So then we see Raquel handing the ring back on the reunion to James, and James going, I forgot that James said this. James took it and went, "Thank you. That's a Bitcoin."
I forgot about that too.
Little asshole. So Katie is like, yeah, Lala left Rand and they have a baby together. And then we see Lala saying, "Randall Emmett creeping around on me. I'm disgusted. I can't believe it. Disgusted."
And then Katie is like, I really value my friendship with Tom, and I want to remain friends, but there's just one rule. Don't hook up with anyone in the friend group. Which is great. That's actually, I have to say, kudos to Vanderpump Rules for a great teaser of the disaster that's to come.
Yeah. So now we go to the new opening.
Yeah.
It's a new opening of Vanderpump Rules. Suddenly people don't spill.
I know. And in fact, now in the previously, we would sit still and then they would come colliding into frame with their drinks. But now they pretty much sit still and we go gliding to them. It was like very exciting. I felt like I was flying in that opening credits.
So we see that we zoom into the new the Toms in their new bar, Schwartz and Sandy's.
Yep.
And then they're like, Tom Sandoval doing his weird fucking porn star stash thing that he's got going on.
Yep.
I don't know. Tom Sandoval really turned into that dad down the street that does magic really quickly.
Did you meet him at game night? Playing Cards Against Humanity.
There's that one dad with like too much gel in his hair and a weird mustache. He's like, anybody want to see some magic?
Be honest, Ronnie. Chris Angel moved in next door.
Am I revealing too much? So then we see them, and then we go to Lala and Katie Ariana, who are at Tom Tom.
I just want to note a few. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I thought you were setting up a scene. Sorry. Continue.
Oh, no. I'm just saying what happens in the opening.
Yeah, no, because I was like, wait, I have
this
things
is a
to say about
10-hour
the
recap.
Credits. Yeah, keep on going. Yeah, they're at Tom Tom.
Which I think is funny because Lala doesn't work at Tom Tom, and I guess Katie and Ariana would own part of that now, right? So that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then everyone else is at Sir, but no one even works at Sir. I mean, even Raquel doesn't even work at Sir anymore because they say at the beginning that she's going back to work at Sir.
Right. Notably, Brock and Charlie are no longer in the opening credits. And also notably is that where it all ends is Lisa sitting at her table. Is that table 19 or whatever it is? She's sitting at her table. And so we no longer have Lisa doing the thing where she flings open the doors and walks in slow-mo and then ending on a group shot of everyone in like the extended Vanderpump Rules universe. I think after like 10 years, they realized, the more people we include in the opening credits is the more liabilities we have when bad shit comes out about them. So let's just limit it to a very small number of faces and we'll just show the Hollywood Hills at the end instead.
Weird though. I feel uncomfortable with Lisa Vanderpump just sitting down. It's defeatist. I don't like it. It's just like, whatever. I'm just sitting down. Yeah. It's like, I don't have any energy. It's like, I don't know. It just feels like giving up. Like I'm tired now. I'm going to sit down.
I kind of liked it in its own. I actually really liked these credits. I thought they were very exciting. They drew me in. I was sad to miss the group shot because I always thought it was really fun how they bring in every single person who had like one line on the show. They would bring them in.
Yeah, they always had like Guillermo and Natalie. Is his wife Natalie? That's her name, right?
I think so.
Guillermo and Natalie and the dog. Ken.
Max would be
Ken
in the
there
back
with
corner.
his Rod Stewart wig. Yeah.
They'd all be in there, Rocio. But now it's pared down. It's pared down.
Rocio, God bless her heart.
I know.
Justice for Rocio. Where is she?
But yeah, now it's like streamlined. It's fast. It's exciting. I honestly was okay with it. I was down with a little bit of a change up. Announced a new era in Vanderpump Rules, wherein we out with the old and in with the new. And by out with the old, I mean nothing's really changed. It's the same stuff.
Everything's exactly
It's the same. It's just that a year and a half has passed.
So they're even trying to convince us with this song. The song is, "What's next? What's next? I'm here for it. What's next? What's next? I'm here for it." Nothing is next. It's all the same fucking people doing the same fucking things. Okay, and I'm here for it. You should just write the song honestly. Just be like, it's the same name people doing the same name things. You've got nothing better going on, stupid.
I know. I think that's the more accurate thing, and that's what the show's about. That there's nothing ever next, despite all the hopes and dreams. There's nothing ever next on Vanderpump Rules.
So is Katie back in the same apartment building she was in before?
No, no. This is a new one because this apartment building is in Valley Village. Her previous apartment was in Hollywood. So this is the thing this is how you know there's nothing next, because she and Tom have moved into a big generic farmhouse style house in Valley Village. But guess where she is now? Back to a classic Vanderpump Rules apartment. And it was so Vanderpump Rules because she has her apartment and she has in her living room, she has a carpet. Well, she has a carpet, but she has a rug on her carpet. And the rug is like a black and white checkerboard rug. And I was like, this is so Vanderpump Rules. Because like on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you've got Kyle Richards, who is so wealthy, doing a black and white checkered foyer to copy her sister, Kathy Hilton, who has a black and white checkered, floor, who's probably trying to copy Kris Jenner, who apparently has one. And I like that Katie's version is just like this sad black and white rug that she got at like World Market or something, Like, that's Vanderpump Rules. It's like the dingy rug compared to the sleek tiles of the Real Housewives.
Yeah, but you know what? We do have to give them credit because buying that house was very smart. They made a lot of money off of that house.
That's good.
In just a couple of years, and I think it was already remodeled and everything. So good for you, home buyers.
Yeah.
So Schwartz comes over and he brings the dogs and the treats because they're like sharing whatever you call it for the dogs and custody. And he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you have an apartment, Bubba. It's like so weird. I mean, I guess it's getting less weird now. Okay, gentlemen, I'll see you in 6 days and 23 hours and 59 minutes. Miss you guys." And he leaves and Katie's like, "Come here, my babies." And she tries to like tackle hug them and one just runs to the door and stares out. Like for
It's her dog, Schmorm, and what's Kyle Richards' other dog name? The really bad one, Lambie. She just has like copycat dogs now. No, they're actually named Gordo and Butters.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I was waiting for you to out. You're not getting an answer from me on that. I don't care about those dogs. Isn't that weird? I'm not just the kind of person who's going to care for any old dog. You know, those dogs I don't care about. They look like dogs who don't pay attention to you.
Yeah, they're uncharismatic. Congratulations. Most uncharismatic dogs go to Katie and Tom. So then we go to James driving somewhere in a sports car. And he's like listening to his own music. And then he's like announcing that he's listening to his own music. He's like, "We're playing some James Kennedy on the mix. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah."
And he's doing his like DJ records in the sky hands. He's like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's me, James Kennedy."
It's like this generic DJ music. It sounds like the soundtrack to my old PlayStation 2 snowboarding video game. It's like, "You just did an Uber jump."
Yeah, it's a very base model. So he gets a call and he's like, "Hey, my love, how's work? How's work going?" And then we cut to Raquel. So we think, oh my God, he's talking to Raquel. Because she's
like
in the
Sounds
car
the
talking on the
Lambs.
phone too. And she's like, yeah, hi. And then we hear Charlie, hey, love, are you nervous to work at SUR tonight? She's like, a little.
And then it turns out that James has actually called his new girlfriend Allie. So it's like that scene in Silence of the Lambs where the FBI are gonna knock down the door of like the serial killer, and then like it turns out Jodie Foster is somewhere else entirely, knocking on a different house. And you're like, oh, which of course, by the way, in this case, James is Buffalo Bill, Allie is Jodie Foster, Raquel is a random house, and Charlie is the FBI.
So back to James. He's like, hey, babe, hey, new girlfriend. I'm so in love with you. Can't believe it. Changed my life overnight. How you doing? And she's like, hi, I miss you. And he's like, yeah, I wish you could come to my gig tonight. She's like, yeah, me too. And so he tells us, I met Ali 5 or 6 weeks after Raquel and I broke up. A lot of people would say it's real soon, but you don't put a date on love. I'm not even that guy who would just like get a girlfriend for the fuck of it. As he powders his face.
Applying like powder on his face.
He starts powdering
his
face with elf.
Like I'm not I wouldn't get it, like fuck it, like live with a girl, like what? Unless I'm like, okay, you know, like unless I'm like obsessed, okay, like I need the ass in my face when I wake up. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, it's like absolutely crazy. He is like extra coked out and extra mincing. He is, I don't know, like coked out, drunk James Kennedy gets very, very mincing, and it's hilarious to me. Also, he's a terrible person.
He's scary. He's scary when he's like this, because it's like it's so much going on. It's not just the coke. It's not just the booze. It's the roids. It's the
it's everything.
Complete obsession with himself. It's the humiliation of getting dumped on national TV and then having to shoot again and like get this girl who's younger and hotter, but now he's the old one, and he probably feels like he's becoming Jax because he has to keep up with young people now. It's like a whole thing going on for him.
But at least his DJ career has really taken off, because now he's gone from performing at SUR on Tuesday nights to performing at SUR on Tuesday nights. And like, honestly, what a great trajectory. Just even. That's, you know, he's only been doing it for what, like 7 or 8 years? I'm sure he'll have his big break soon, right?
Yeah. So Charlie and Raquel. So Charlie's like, so what's your game plan? Have you met his girlfriend yet? And Raquel's like, yeah, I met her at the award show. And then she tells us that she met the girlfriend at the iHeartRadio award show. And she went over to say hello, and he introduced her to Allie. And then I ran away. And like, I don't know anything about James's new girlfriend, except that she looks exactly like his mom. And then they put a picture of this chick side by side with his mom. And
yeah, it's true.
Girl.
It's true. It's a good call by Raquel. Yeah, she's like, he has like some real mommy issues. I'm like, well, of many other issues that he has, yes. But yeah. So James is
I think wanting to fuck your mom's probably the bit. I think that one probably outweighs other ones. I'll give her credit on that one.
Yeah. So James is now talking to Allie. He's like, so apparently Raquel is working again at SUR. And Allie's like, oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, like, not really. Actually, I don't think you understood the tone of my voice, Allie. Not really fun at all. She's like, okay, I mean, I don't work there or go there, so who cares?
She's like, hi, I'm here to be on television.
Hi.
So
I work at Soho House, which actually has celebrities there. So is this relevant to me right now?
Right.
It's like saying that your friend Joanne is working at McDonald's now. It's like, okay, cool. It doesn't impact me.
I think it's funny that they don't even pretend to work there when they're not shooting. It's like, oh, I guess we all have to go back to SUR. We're shooting another season. You know, I'm going. Raquel's going back. So now we go to Schwartz and Sandy's, and we hear drilling, and Sandoval entering as just you knew that Sandoval would in his first scene. Like, look, everyone, I've been working really hard for the restaurant. Look at all this shit I got thrifting. Like,
and there's this lady named Lucinda there. She's like a designer or interior designer. And she's like, okay, what is this for? And Schwartz is like, oh, it's for the cabinet. She's like, okay, yeah, it's not going in the cabinet for the millionth time. Why is it that every time you guys come in here, there's another box of thrifting shit that doesn't belong in this restaurant?
And Sandoval's like, what? Like, we made a lot of progress since our non-progress party last year. I mean, now it's looking a lot less like the cantina, at least. Like, we've added wallpaper. And we see a shot of, like, some wallpaper. We got a Starry Night theme. And it's like,
It's like a little
what would you
canopy
call
thing.
that? Like a 6x4
Yeah, it's like a rectangle.
frame with some black fabric on it. And then some of those, like, Christmas lights behind it.
Yeah. We have our James Terrell installation on the way to the bathroom, and there's like some square lights over there.
There's another big rectangle, but you can see the LED strip because, of course, it's Tom Sandoval. He loves his LED strips.
Yeah.
You see the LED strips because the ceiling is mirrored. It's like, oh, Tom, come on.
I feel like Tom Sandoval because someone messed up and mailed me like 60 LED lights, like the long bars that are like 7 feet. I've got like,
oh,
60
hell
in
yeah.
my foyer.
Really?
They're all, it's like clearly for like a big, like
Cool.
build. It's like for a building install for like, it's basically meant for like 10 kitchens. And for some reason they're all in my foyer. And I have to send them.
Did you use them? Are you going to use
No.
them?
Well, at first I was like, I opened up one. I was like, oh, LED light. This will be cool. But they're not fun LED lights. They're just like things that go in your backsplash or something. So now I just have a ton of LED lights and I have to bring them to the post office in the back. But they're really heavy and it's like a whole schlep. So they're probably going to sit there for a year before I finally put them in my car.
Oh, I'm a total
So if anyone
Tom
needs an
Sandoval. I
LED
make
light,
fun of...
come on over.
I make fun of the LED lights, but I love them. I have them behind my TV, and they like change as the picture on the TV changes. You know, like changes colors on the. I love that shit. And then I got more, but they didn't work for the TV, so I want to like put them back there. And I kind of make fun of it because of my. It's like projecting, you know, because I'm just such a child. It's like that's what I think about in line at the TJ Maxx. Like, where could I use those LED lights? Because they're always selling like.
Yeah.
You know, some LED strip, and like you can change it with your phone. I'm like, I could change it with my phone. I love that. So anyway, that's Tom taping up LED lights every fucking place he can.
I should donate these to Schwartz and Sandy's.
So, only if you can change them with their phone, please. Okay,
yeah, they're just generic white. They're just like generic.
Yeah, no.
White
Does Tom Sandoval
light.
look like he needs generic white lights? No, he needs color.
He needs changing, shimmering colors.
Yes.
But if there's a DMV, hey, any DMV managers out there, hit me up. I will give you some LED lights on the house.
So he's like, at this point, we've invested $1 million into this project. It's like the national debt.
Just what every restaurant investor wants to hear, by the way. So they have a daily mail party in 6 days. This show, by the way, a lot of Vanderpump Rules seems to be dictated by Daily Mail party deadlines, right? Like how many times have been like, well, darling, you have to fix this before the Daily Mail party. Well, we want to get like married, but there's gonna be like a Daily Mail party coming up in like 6 days, so like we have to get married before that. It's like everything's about Daily Mail parties.
Every plot, it's a Vanderpump plot. That's her big. That's her big mainstream media outlet that she posts all the gossip to, you know. So also it's the show doesn't even pretend either, because when they quit doing this show, they just completely stopped Schwartz and Sandy's. Like literally nothing was happening there. People were sending pictures every month of like, here's nothing happening. And the second they said the show's going to start filming, they all like ran in there and started taping shit up onto the walls,
right.
You know? So,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I wonder how the bar is actually doing, because Tom actually does well as a bar. Like every time I've gone there, it's always crowded, or there'll be lines, etc. But that's WeHo, and Schwartz and Sandy's is in more of a hipster place actually, and so I wonder if the hipsters are flocking to Schwartz and Sandy's, or is it languishing up there in Franklin Hills?
I think it'll do fine. It's right by that UCB, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So as long as they have some cheap drinks and appetizers, they'll be fine.
They better have a cocktail called the Yes And. Ronnie was drinking his Topo Chico or something when I said that. It's ironic that you did not yes and me in that moment, but you were drinking.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So the lady's like, guys, we have like 6 days to finish this, or as I like to put it, 6 Daily Mails. So let's get on it. And Schwartz is like, well, as far as the Daily Mail party, I guess it's not much that we have to do. I mean, I know it looks chaotic in here right now, but it's all going to come together. Right, guys?
Yeah. He said, it's all going to come together like a beautiful symphony. I'm like, there's nothing about this place that is like a beautiful symphony. This is probably why Dudamel has left Los Angeles to go to New York, because this is LA's version of a beautiful symphony. And he's like, what am I doing in this city? I gotta leave
fuck
here.
this place. Yeah. They're like, it's a dress rehearsal, okay? So can we agree, guys? No more changes past Friday. Can we agree? I'm like, sure. And so they all fist bump. And then we get a Schwartz and Sandy scene, because they haven't been hanging out for a while. So he's like, dude, I've been like growing, man, because I'm like getting a divorce. I'm losing my house. Do you know how bad it sucks having a mortgage? $6,000. And that's just my portion. Then I have $3,500 in rent. I'm not even counting the bills and the lease here.
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, but Sandoval, like, you're like the best partner ever when I have your attention. I mean, there was a moment there when I was incredibly frustrated by you. I mean, you just were not present. You were dialed into every other project, which are sick projects. I mean, I love the band with escapism, but like escapism at my cost. Now, I get it. I can see why it's probably very frustrating to be like, we're opening a bar and then my bar partner goes off to do a cover band for 3 months across the country. That's frustrating. But I don't think that Schwartz is in any position to talk about like not being present or things being at his cost, because as far as I could tell, Schwartz has just like been along for the ride through all of this. Sandoval has had to do everything at Tom Tom, and now this too. And if anything, everything has always seemed to me like it's been at Sandoval's cost. So like, I think he finally was just like, you know what, fuck it. I mean, I think it was shitty that he went off and did a band, but I think that Schwartz, of all people, who like pats himself on his back for resupplying the tissue paper in the bathroom like once a week, like, oh, he's pulled his own weight at this bar, and now he's like, oh man, you're just not very present. It's like, I don't know if you have enough capital to complain about that.
Yeah, because they made it look last season like Sandoval was doing everything. Schwartz was never around doing anything. They had to make him do every little thing that he ever did. But then this season, they're showing Schwartz like, look, I'm picking out a countertop, which is another Vanderpump scene that she loves to have in her shows. Like, let's go to the countertop factory. It's like her. It's like, America, that's what they want to see. Countertops. So we got to see him do that. So now they're changing it around. I think Tom is probably like, fuck it, the show's getting canceled. Okay, because last year they didn't know they were going to get picked up for a long time. I think he was like, the show's going to get canceled. Our partner's a fucking asshole, and he's going to be making all the money anyway. So why doesn't he fucking do the restaurant then if he's not going to let us do what we want to do? Because that guy, they still got a deal like they have with Vanderpump with this new guy, don't you think?
Probably, yeah. I think that, and it was funny because Schwartz says like, yeah, Tom was doing like the most extras, and like he just like disappeared. I couldn't get through to him, and like what turned things around was when I sat him down and told him, we're going to run out of money. I'm like, wait, Tom Schwartz is the one who's keeping an eye on the books. Something does not seem right about this. Now, that being said, I'm totally here for like a more focused and driven Tom Schwartz. But this all just feels very strange to me so far.
Yeah. And the show's filming again, so if you want to sell tickets to Bravo fans, don't rush into being a has-been. Okay, that was our talk, and it went really well. At first, he didn't believe me, but I said, hey, ask yourself this question. How many tickets to things has Jack sold? And Tom's like, oh, got it. All right, Starry Night coming right up. Starry Night. So, by the way, Sandoval, very creative person. I've seen a lot of clips of his music. I haven't gone to hear it yet and everything. It sounds pretty cool and really fun. I know a lot of people love to go. Yeah. So good for you. Don't be hiring 20 musicians. What the fuck are you doing? You have the Glenn Miller Orchestra out there? You're a cover band. You better knock it down to 5. The hell are you thinking? Go make your money. Crazy. You heard of synthesizers? Jesus Christ.
It's called, you know what? It's called download a karaoke track from YouTube, okay? And play it. So
he's got like a 19-person horn section up there to play Brick House.
Listen, it didn't work for Justin Timberlake. It's not going to work for you.
So, sir, now let's go over to Sir. And James shows up in his pink shiny shirt, moving his arms like he's just fucking about to pop out of his mind. You know, he's just like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because he like walks in like all tough, and like the filters are all sort of crazy, and there's like visual effects on screen, and it's like, sir, the most happening spot at this address, and it's like all these things happening, and then he walks in like it's like staying alive or something like that. It's like you could look at his feet walking down the street, like that's right, the boss DJ bitch is back. That's right, everyone. And there's just something so funny about like him having this tough guy walk, and then he gets to like the corner of the bar and puts up his little laptop, like there. I'm here, my little laptop. And he starts spritzing himself.
Starts like lifting his. He's like, yeah, got my tool here. I'm looking up how old his girlfriend is. Raquel.
Like 21 or 22.
Oh, girl. Maybe? I don't know. Why isn't it saying? Okay, I'll look later when we're not supposed to be talking. Sorry, I'm just curious. So, Peter. So then it shows the difference in how he enters, which is like, hey, world, saying hi to people out there. Hello, lighting person. Hello, director. Hello, producer. And then it cuts to Raquel to show how she's just like, hi, everybody. How are you? Hope everybody had a great weekend. Being sweet. And then creepy ass Peter.
Yes.
Comes right up to her at the computer by the back refrigerator where all of the best scenes take place here in Sir. And he's like, hey, Raquel, how's the night treating you? How is it?
Yeah. He just sort of like,
hey.
He's like, it's been a while since I've been out. It's like, how's it going? And she's like, a little busy. And he's like, yeah, the other night was fun. Like, you didn't get your nachos though. I have this never-ending quest to get you those nachos. And you just like know where he's going with this. She's like, yeah, wow, you're really hung up on those nachos. I kind of forgot about them because I didn't even order them. You're the one who ordered them. He's like, yeah. She's like,
oh, you really wanted them, so just wanted to make sure you get those nachos. Ha, 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 ha. Fuck off, creep. Fuck off. Greasy ass Peter. Oh, he's so gross.
I also like, you're the manager and she's your employee. I just feel like
I shouldn't say greasy. I should say slimy. Greasy seems offensive, but slimy doesn't. Does that make sense? Internal alarms went off, so I would like to change my answer to you slimy ass. Get the fuck away. You're her boss, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the first thing she does, you come. It's not like you're not allowed to date, I guess. It's Vanderpump Rules, but back the fuck off. This is work, sir.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just weird that like so many people on the show seem to have had to have graduated through Peter to get to move onward and
it's
upward.
It's just nasty. And yeah, it is. It's like your audition phase, you have to go through Peter. Ugh, it's just gross. Cut it out, dude. Also, she's a child. You're in your 40s. Go away.
By the way, I just want to say that James Kennedy's girlfriend, Allie, she apparently is 27, which I'm surprised at. She looked like she was like 21. And she has been on reality TV before. When she was 18 years old, she starred in a Dayton, Ohio reality TV show called The Valley, which followed 6 high school graduates as they prepared to go off to college. So, not to be confused with The Hills, which has the same executive producer as this show. She was on The Valley,
wow,
which lit up Ohio's reality TV scene, apparently.
Well, that's good. I mean, look, she's older than I thought.
Yeah.
But also, you're old enough to know what you're doing, which worries me about you. Yeah. I don't know about you, Allie. Let's see. Time will tell. Yeah. So, meanwhile, this chemistry, this nacho chemistry. Ugh. So Raquel is really awkward, right? You can tell she does not like him at all. Because he's like, yeah, I remember that you wanted him, so I remembered, right? I get a blowjob, right, for that? And she's like, uh-huh. Yeah, in the moment, I sure did want those. And he's like, yeah, I remembered. So she tells us, yeah, I wouldn't really say he's my type, but Peter's an actual man and not a man-child. Oh, honey. A man is just a matured man-child. They're just hairier. They're not better.
Aren't there just other men in Hollywood outside of Peter? I mean, I actually like Peter, but I think this is gross. Like, isn't there like...
He's a fuckboy. Everybody knows he's a fuckboy, and he uses his Vanderpump Rules fame or whatever to just bang all these young chicks. Like, you do you, okay? It's not even sex shaming. Just don't touch my innocent little Raquel, sir.
I think she should go after a random old guy, like a random famous old guy, like Jack Scalia or something like that. You know?
No, I don't want to see that for her.
I think it would be amusing.
I don't want a Lala storyline for her.
But I don't feel like she would get that with Jack Scalia. I think he would just be so happy that like
I think
he's
it's
in the
Jack
mix.
Scalia, first
Jack
of all.
Scalia, sorry.
How dare you? I was like, who's Scalia? What a weird name.
Jack Scalia.
It's like somebody who doesn't moisturize. Like, who's that?
Jack Scalia. I apologize to the Scalia family and the state. So anyway, the whole reason why Peter is mentioning nachos, that like, oh, you didn't get your nachos, is that way he can say, so let's get you those nachos that you love, that you clearly want to get. And she's like, she goes, listen, I just want to keep it casual. He goes, okay, so I won't be wearing a suit. I don't mind casual. I'm like, I don't think she means dress code casual, sir.
Yeah, Peter. Peter just not understanding signals. At the fucking hostess stand. Okay, so Katie and Ariana at Tom Tom. So
this is funny to me because they walk in and Logan seats them at a table and Ariana goes, this is a nice table, as if they've never been to this place before. You guys know what every single table is like and looks like.
You've literally sat at this table on the show millions of times.
Wow, look at this. I never knew there was a table like this here. Wow. Right here in the middle of the room.
This is so cute. It's not just Tom. It's Tom Tom. That is the cutest. Is it? Are there two Toms that own this? Are there two?
Wait, there's cocktails and food? Get out.
So they're having like a girls' night, and Katie's like, are you going to invite Lala to girls' night? And Ariana's like, yeah, because we're cool now. So she goes, yeah, well, I feel like I'm a little out of the loop and everything. And Ariana says, yeah, because look, you've been doing so much. Like, you moved, you're selling the house, you're wearing a lace bra under a cardigan and a sheer button down from the aughts.
You're getting ever closer to having Kenley Collin bangs. I can feel it. I can feel them about to burst out on you. It's a lot that you're going through. And Katie's like, yeah, but like Tom and I have been talking. Like, I'm really just trying to prioritize our friendship because we've decided that of all the people who've tried and failed, we're going to be the ones that succeed at being friends freshly divorced. It'll totally work for us. We'll be the ones that'll make it work.
Yeah, and Ariana's like, if one of my exes tried calling me Bubba, I would call the cops. So I don't think this is going to work. So Lala shows up in PJs because she's Lala, you guys. She's like, I was like, am I able to wear pajamas and make look like not pajamas? Oh my God, I'm so glad you came up with that idea, Lala.
Yeah, she's on trend.
They're revolutionary.
So she's like, how are you, Ariana? And Ariana's saying I'm just excited for a night out because like Tom's been gone like 24/7 and everything. She's just excited to hang out with her boyfriend. And then all of a sudden Lisa Vanderpump walks in and she's like, hello, I'm back for my administrative duties. Jojo, how are you? Are you working or not working? Oh, please do not twerk up on me. Boundaries, Jojo, boundaries.
I've asked you to hand me menus with your hands instead of your ass cheeks, Jojo. Please, we get it. You're famous at twerking. All right, darling. All right, now, Max, how many people tonight? And he's like, we've only got 2 bartenders, mother. Who's in the kitchen? Well, we've got 5 people in the kitchen. Oh, really? 5 here, 2 there, 3 there. What does that add up to if you're on a train carrying puppies down a hill at 60 miles an hour? You're in charge. Don't forget that. You're in charge.
Yeah, she just asked him random like number questions.
How many calories are in Cheerios? 1.5 cups with milk.
How many light bulbs in the chandelier above? Quickly, you've got 10, 9, 8, 7 seconds, Max.
Yeah, she has now put Max in a managerial position, I guess. He's running Tom Tom, which is funny and good for him because she never let his ass do anything but run food before. So I don't know if Max finally got smart and like, I don't know, got the access to their ring cam footage or what, but he's got something on her ass now.
Well, Pandy had her baby, so maybe she's on maternity leave, and she's like, well, I got to have another child do it. So, Max, fill in for a bit before we kick you down to busboy at the new place.
I'd like to think Max found her like shagging a trainer or something and finally was like, listen here, mother, I'm going to be more than a food runner. I shall be a bar manager. And she's like, oh, I'm so proud of you, darling.
So then Lisa joins the girls, and she just turns to Katie and goes, so you're in your ex's restaurant, which is like, what? It's actually such a dick thing to say, but like, it's her. They're all like, ha ha ha, Lisa.
And Lala's like, well, actually, it's hers. It's more her restaurant than his. I'm a petty bitch these days. I'm a petty bitch.
Yeah. Well, I think yeah. And then Lisa goes, well, you all look great. Look at you. You're looking more beautiful than ever. And you, Lala, you're wearing pajamas and your face has strange proportions now, but good for you. Good for you. Lala goes, yeah, it's a lot of cum on the face. That's why. And she's like,
oh, is that what she says?
Yes.
I wrote, a lot have come to the faith. And I'm like, what does that mean? I was sitting here trying to figure out what that meant.
Well,
it's a lot of cum on her face.
I think that's what she said.
Fucking love, of course. Of course that's what she said. And Lisa's like, well, it doesn't look like you're getting any of that action right now, dude. Blah, blah, blah. And Lala's like, I'm not. So, like, if I'm not talking about it, then I'm totally dry right now.
Oh, I should introduce you to my dear friend, Jack Scalia. So Lala's like, Lala's not going to go to Sir with the rest
I've got to get this off of my computer. Let me just close it.
What?
Fucking Jack Scalia.
Staring at me. What is he famous for? What?
I'm not pulling it back up. Don't make me pull it back up. I just got rid of it.
He was on Jersey Shore Shark Attack, whatever that was. Anywho,
Jersey Shore
There's a movie called Jersey Shore Shark Attack.
Dark Breed, Deadly Desire, The Devlin Connection, T-Force, Silent Predators.
He actually was in Red Eye. I remember he was in Red Eye with Rachel McAdams, which is kind of a funny pairing.
He's been in a lot of cheesy ass movies.
Nuclear Hurricane.
Wow.
Vegas Dick. It's been a lot
Vegas Dick. Oh my God, that's the only kind.
I wanted to have like one prestige thing
Amadeus.
that he was in. That was amazing. You know,
Howard's End.
He was in The Natural, actually.
Well, yeah, there you go.
He
got his prestige. You can die now.
Him.
You can die.
Good for you, Mr. Scalia. You are a leader.
So Lala just keeps trying to lead with her, Lala-ness, not getting cum on her face and being totally dry. And so Vanderpump's like, well, what about Sir? Anyone going over to Sir later to see James? And Lala's like, no. I don't want to be in that situation. I need to go home, possibly to take a bath in sperm. Hopefully.
I'm going to wear my sailor's hat because I'm expecting semen. So Ariana's like, well, I guess I just don't understand what Randall is bringing to their friendship. That's so... And before she can finish it, Katie just goes, pick a ball. Pick a ball. Rand's bringing pick a ball.
And Lala's like, when I hear that people are going and communicating with that person, I don't want you in my circle. You were the one who put them all in that circle to use his money, just like you did, okay?
Yeah.
And so Lala's like, yeah, when I found out about the life that Randall had been leading behind my back. Really? You fucked the guy as a hostess because he walked up to you and offered you a partner's movie and a Range Rover, both of which he gave you the next day. And this is according to you. Get out of here, you didn't know. And he was married. You cheated with someone who had a wife and a girlfriend.
Listen, I don't think two wrongs make a right, but they should make you a little smarter. And the truth is that, like, she did not deserve to be cheated on, but she also should have been smart enough to realize what the heck she was getting herself involved with, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and buy this, like, no, not going to work with me. Madame. But here we go. It's going to be a season of it, so let's just buckle in. So she's like, yeah, I can't believe he was doing this behind my back. And then we see a headline, Lala can't split from Randall Emmett. Moves into a hotel with the daughter after liking a post about him cheating. And I love that it sounds so big to me. When she checked into the fucking Beverly Hills Hotel.
I know, it wasn't like at the It was not like the Comfort Inn. So then we see a text exchange between Lala and Schwartz, and she was like, "You're cut, dude. Spent time with Rand, very hurt and disappointed." And he's like, "La, you know it's nothing personal. Some pickleball and shooting shit. What happened between you guys is between you and him." And she goes, "Oh, it's personal. Trust me. But you couldn't even get on your own wife's team. How could I expect you to be on mine? I'm good on you. I don't associate with weakness." I mean, she does have a point. He really couldn't get even on his own wife's team. So, and by the way, I do think it's, like I said before,
but his wife is wrong.
Yeah, but he was a shitty husband. I'm sorry. Like there were many times
Tom Schwartz was inarguably a shitty husband. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, and I think that he is being a shitty friend to Lala, unless he truly is. Like, you can either be a shitty friend to Lala and then be okay with being a shitty friend to Lala and be like, look, I still want to be friends with this horrific person because I guess I can play pickleball with him and he's going to pay for my drinks. Fine, but then don't be like, oh, I hate feeling tense around you, Lala. Like, it's going to be tense. You're with her fucking Rumpelstiltskin ex, you know?
Yeah, Lala makes me crazy, but 100% he's in the wrong here. Who does that?
Yeah.
That's gross,
100%.
And my favorite is just how she sets it up. She's like, I got my closest friends together on Scheana's rooftop. And I was very clear with everyone in my inner circle, do not communicate with Randall because I'm going into a custody fight and I don't need our circles crossing. And I was like, ooh, Scheana's rooftop. I love it.
I know.
Like, everyone, we're meeting on Scheana's rooftop. And Scheana's like Scheana's enchilada night.
I know. I was going to say, I was very clear. Do not communicate with that man. And I told you, Scheana, I will have an enchilada after this meeting, but not right now because I'm making a speech. It's definitely like
so. Lala's like, yeah, I don't associate with weakness. You're a liability. And Katie's like, yeah. He's like, I don't understand the whole story. And I said she was pretty clear. And he's like, I'm gonna touch the stove.
Yeah. And I do imagine that Tom Schwartz is the one who touches the stove and the hot plate and the fajita plate. He always touches the fajita plate. Ow! It hurt, Bubba. So Katie's like, the day that Tom takes responsibility for anything will be a cold day in hell. I'll be long dead before that. Ha. I'm like, well, you did marry him, so ha. And then Lala goes, and then just when you think it can't be any worse, the LA Times article comes out.
Oh my gosh. The one that said every opportunity you blew your way into was also senior abuse against Bruce Willis and Al Pacino. Whoops. Sorry. That must have stung.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't say that you didn't know that because you were actually on the set with those men, not remembering their own damn name and having spit come down their face during their lines. So I'm not really sure what you're trying to pull here, Lala, but it's not going to work out.
Yeah, and she's like, I had heard rumblings about the LA Times wanting to do a piece on Randall, and they finally reached out to me, and I was in shock. By the way, wasn't the whole thing on Beverly Hills like 2 seasons ago when the LA Times article came out about Tom Girardi, and then Erica was acting crazy and fled, and then didn't she act like she had no idea that there was an article coming out?
Yeah, she said, how am I supposed to know? Nobody knows what LA Times is doing.
Meanwhile, even Lala knew about this article coming out. So, retroactive. Gotcha, Erica Jane.
So she's like, I was in shock. He's being accused of basically running a casting couch. I mean, duh. You told us about the casting couch. You literally told us that you used it.
What? Yeah. What part of your first film role was not? Are you that literal? That you're like, well, I was standing because I was a hostess, that you're going to say that there was no casting couch?
You're ridiculous. So using assistants to run drugs. Well, what the fuck else do you use your assistant for? Are you not supposed to use your assistant to run your drugs for you? Listen, if I need you to pick something up downtown, pick it up. Okay? You're my assistant. So I'm not even with her on that one. And they added up to about $25 million in lawsuits.
And she goes, the article was the tip of the iceberg. And Katie, stop trying to dip the article in ranch. Well, you said it was iceberg.
She goes, and yet it didn't even include all of the things that I haven't told. Like, Lala's got some secrets. I was like, you bragged about tossing his salad. What else could there be? You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. My God, you keep secrets?
Toss salad and scrambled maize. So Lala's like, she's like, it basically
toss salad and scrambled schmeg.
It basically confirmed what 50 Cent said. Randall is a mini Harvey Weinstein with way less money and power. I'm like, okay, so now you're trying to be friends with 50 Cent again? Okay, good luck with that.
So you're just going to stop. You're just going to
world.
stop at that 50 Cent quote, huh? Because he said a lot more than that. So then she's like, yeah, well, I guess Schwartz and I have been like, we need to work through a lot. And this no backbone, I'm Switzerland, that doesn't work for me. And by the way, you stepped up when it fucking mattered. Girls, and I'm going to remember this moment all of my life. I'm going to remember the people who turned on me, and I'm going to remember the people who stood up for me and are like, who sacked up and are writing for me for my kids. It's very Erica Jane, her whole thing.
know. Yeah. Yeah. God, how strong these people are to say, no, thank you. I will not like to play pickleball today, Randall.
Yeah, really another innocent who had no idea they were with monsters as long as the money was flowing. Lala and Erica.
So now we go to back down to Sir, where James is DJing and people are dancing, and Raquel and Charlie are sneaking a shot behind the bar, like 1, 2, 3, like shots, and then Charlie's like, big girl squad, single. So I guess that's the update on Charlie, is that she's not dating her boyfriend from last season. And that's like also like I think the last we see of Charlie for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, and this didn't it seem weird to you because they're showing everybody dancing, and there's something about that pink lighting in the restaurant, and like just like you can see kind of like an LED strip falling, like the glue isn't holding it anymore, and the people dancing all look literally like extras casting, like 18 years old, just like holding their hands in the air. There was a tinge of sadness to this, I'm not gonna lie. I felt a little,
there was a tinge of sadness, which actually made me feel really warm, brought me back to season 1 vibes, you know. This show really thrives on its tinges of sadness.
That's true.
It's at its worst when it's hopeful.
LVP comes in slow motion. She's like, dun, 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 lady with the pink restaurant. And she goes and checks on James, and she's like, how you feeling? Is your girlfriend here? And he's like, she works for Soho House. She's like, assistant something or other, Lisa. Yay!
You don't know what she does? And he's like, no, but she's like the assistant person who stands by trees. Do you know her second name? Yes, it's, of course, Lisa. Her second name is Alexandra Pepinpimscup. What? Pepinpimscup? Yes, Pepinpimscup. All right.
He says, I thought he said Lupa. Didn't he say Lupa? And I'm looking it up to see what it is. And it is, did he get it right? Let's see. Ali Luber. So yeah, maybe he did. Maybe he said Luba. Luba. Like Luba.
Luba.
So she's like testing him, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Are you living with her?" And he's like, "Yes. I mean, not blasting it to the wall or anything, Lisa, but yes." And she's like, "Already, right back into the fire, James." He's like, "Not right back in. Listen, Pamela Anderson got married in a day, didn't she?
Wiggy wiggy.
Isn't it funny that documentary just came out about Pam Anderson's sad life? You know,
wow.
Check it out. I hear it's really good.
Cool.
But what weird timing in TV land.
Yeah, strange. So then Lisa tells us, it's like he can't be with himself. I thought he would take like at least a break after Raquel. I mean, he was about to marry her. She was the most beautiful woman on the planet. He held her in such high esteem. And so she's like, by the way, are you drinking? I'm not judging, just laughing. If you can handle it, if you're doing fine, that's all I want to see. And he's like, yeah, like, I'm totally handling. I'm totally fine. Everything's fine. Can't you see by how large my eyes are right now? I'm totally fine. Like, I learned a lot of things from drinking in those 2 years. Like, for instance, I learned about sewing. People sew sourdough. People made sourdough bread during the pandemic. I learned so many things, Lisa, but now I'm back to drinking. Wiki. I'm totally fine. Everything's fine. Nothing can go wrong.
It's like, good, I love when alcoholism is only a storyline and not an actual disease that kills thousands of people a year, darling. And it's like, oh yeah, after 2.5 years of not a single drop, I decided to drink again. Because after all, I did it to better myself. It clearly wasn't enough. And besides, you know, it was a new year. It was 2022. I'm like, wow, so it was like a reverse New Year's resolution. I've never heard of that, where someone's like, wow, happy New Year. I'm going to start doing drugs this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody, let's gather around.
He's like, I'm James Kennedy. Okay, let me live. It's like, okay. So then,
James.
So then she goes, all right, well, let's get this party going. And then James turns to the crowd and goes, let's get this party going. You heard Lisa. Let's get going. Everyone's
They're like, woo.
Woo.
So Ariana and Katie walk over to Sir, and the Toms come, and Scheana comes. So Ariana's like, oh my god, you look cute. Did you guys see I made Tom have a mustache? I was like, it's Top Gun summer.
Yeah, it is. I love Top Gun. You know who's also like really good with like Top Gun? It's like Brock. He like once flew a plane and he like flew it really slowly, and I was like, oh my god, you're like Top Gun.
Katie's like, I'm trying to decide if there's a server around here. And Raquel comes over. I was like, hey, it's Raquel. Don't be mean to your server. So Raquel comes over. She's like, hi, anybody want lemon drops? And then James sees them all. So he starts yelling and jumping on the table and waving his hands.
Yeah, he's like, get your hands up, everybody. So Schwartz announces that he was going to get another tattoo this summer. He wants to get one of the state of Florida. And everyone's like, cool. And then Katie's like, are you going to do like a cover up? He's like, no, the Bubba stays. It was a very happy time in my life, you know? So it's really important for me to have Bubba and Florida on my ass. I'm like, people are going to think that you got out of jail down in like Pensacola or something.
So weird. Wouldn't it be funny if you had so many ass tattoos that look like underwear?
He goes, I'm going to sleeve my ass cheeks.
So they tell him that Lala left. Like, she met up with them, but she left. And Schwartz is like, because of me? Oh, my God, I do not owe her an apology, but I'll sit and I'll talk to her, I guess. And Katie's like, did you read the LA Times article?
He's like, yeah, I read it. Turns out, great reviews for that movie with Andrea Riseborough. Can't believe she got the Oscar nomination. Good for her. No, not that article about Randall. Oh, no, I didn't really read it. No.
She's like, yeah, but this is what she's been dealing with. And Scheana's like, well, you can't just like Captain Hindsight me. And Sandoval says, I don't think that he thought about that really. And Scheana's like, yeah, but that's kind of the problem, that he didn't think it's a big deal to hang out with Randall when obviously it's like a huge deal. I mean, don't you have any respect for Al Pacino?
And then Schwartz is like, I just wanted to play some pickleball. So this is where Scheana goes, there's like other pickleball courts and there's like other people who play pickleball. Like, it's not just a Randall thing. Like, Randall doesn't own pickleball, and even if Randall did own pickleball, he'd probably be suing him right now.
So Scheana is wearing such a Scheana outfit. She's wearing a blazer as a top, right? A pink blazer. And then it goes like, it's like boobage. And then it looks like she's taken off half the blazer and then just scrunched it under her armpit. It's just so her, you know? So they tell Schwartz that he needs to have a talk with Lala, because, you know, if you don't make it right with Lala does nothing but try and ruin your life for the rest of the year. So just do whatever you need to do to make it good with Lala. And then it cuts to Raquel going, wow, all of you guys have American Express cards? I feel so left out. Get an agent. Has nobody told Raquel to get an agent yet? Because, you know, you'll work on Vanderpump Rules for $5 a year until you get an agent. We all know that.
Yeah, she's like paying for things with a Costco card. So then Peter goes up to James and he's like, hey, so I just want to be a little transparent with you. Raquel and I are going out. There was talk about nachos. I think she said something like, I really want to get nachos with you, Peter. Let's do it tonight. I'm falling madly in love with you. Something like that. I don't know. And James's eyes like bulge. And then he's like, wow, well, you know what? Oh, it's okay. You know, your boy's been a real one. So like, I respect that. I respect it a lot. And then he tells us, You're going from this to Peter. This to Peter. All of this. All of this.
Peter's like, okay, glad we had the talk. Just keep up the good work, though, because this is awesome. Hang 10, buddy. Ha 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 ha.
So now, then James runs into Raquel. He's like, wants to go to the bathroom, and she comes out of it, and he's like, oh, how are you? He does that polite thing he always does, as if he's not a raging asshole. Oh, how are you? Are you tipsy right now? And she's like, a little. Are you not tipsy? I know you're drinking again, and it's fine. Do what you want with your life. Do it. It's okay.
He's like, fine, but you know what? Like, I'm not like drinking, you know? Like, do I like wine? Yes. Do I like wine? Do I want to have wine when I go to a nice dinner in France? Yes, that's what I want to do. Like, wine and cheese or something in France. All right, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, he starts doing this whole fanfic of him drinking wine in France. It's like, sure, do I want to get to war? Do I want to go to France and have like a bit of red wine and some cheese? Maybe like walk along the Seine, you know, maybe pick out a lovely little book and be like, I'll have another glass of wine. And then next thing you know, I'm at the top of the Eiffel Tower being like, fuck you all French people, I'm fucking James Kennedy. Like maybe a little bit of that, but you know, nothing too big.
She's like, yeah, with your girlfriend, of course. He's like, well, Raquel, I mean, 2.5 years not drinking. I mean, like I learned a lot of life lessons, didn't I? Not drinking for 2.5 years, you know? So if I quit again in the future, it'll be for me, not for some ultimatum, right?
Well, I want to be able to check in with you and make sure everything is okay, because that way I'll know I'm actually doing much better myself, because I'll be like, oh, I feel sad for myself. And then I'll check in on you and I'll be like, oh, you're doing okay, Raquel, because look at James, you know?
All right, well, thanks a lot for that, Ali. You know, good seeing you. Talk to you later.
Did you just call me Ali? I'm Raquel.
You know what? You don't even need to check in with me, all right? All right? Like, just let me in the bathroom. Let me in the bathroom. Go to piss.
I gotta pee. No, you're not talking to you in 6 months, and like now you have a girlfriend, and like I wish you guys all the best.
Yeah, love of my life she is, Ali. Love of my life.
Well, I mean, you said the same thing about me.
Well, you know, I've never felt so connected to someone, ever. I mean, one time I said, what if we went to France? And she said, and had cheese? And I said, wine? And she said, I love wine. Boom! Love of my life.
Raquel's like, James is my best friend, and like he literally found a replacement in 3 weeks. Like companies replacing their secretaries take longer than 3 weeks.
I mean, they don't. But, you know, I like that Raquel... she's thinking things through.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, like saying love of your life. And he's like, all right, I'm freaking out. I've got to go to the bathroom.
Like, you don't understand. Like when you drink again, you also have to pee a lot more again.
Yeah.
So now it's the next day, and James is playing with his cats, and Scheana and Raquel are walking over to a place called Shape House. And then they get there, and a lady's like, hi, welcome to Shape House. I'm just going to tuck you into an infrared blanket, and it's going to stay the same temperature the whole time. And it's just going to like internally just like roast you from the inside. It's like a Kenny Rogers roaster, except you're not chicken. You're just a human. And, you know, that's all. You're just going to sit and be constricted and sweat. So it sounds like fun, huh? Enjoy.
I hate cardio. It's like, okay, well, enjoy the alternative. You know, fucking boiling alive.
That sounds like a nightmare, by the way. Being
it
stuck
really
and
does.
Just like being like getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Like I don't like that. I don't want that.
No, the lady's like, this is tar. We're gonna pour this over you. Then we're gonna put feathers on there so it dries into there, and you can't pull it off. Then you're gonna boil alive. Okay, enjoy your time. Can I get your credit cards before we start?
No.
Oh my God, you both have Amexes? I'm so jealous.
So then Lala, meanwhile, is at her new office where she's doing all sorts of important work, like updating her iCal and
literally nothing. She has Katie come over to help her put together her Amazon office chairs because she doesn't want to mess up her nails. Okay.
Katie goes, Tom used to call me Bub Villa. And Lala's like, what's that? You know, like Bob
Lala
Vila.
goes, what's up, Bob Vila? And she goes, no. She goes, no, Bob Vila. She goes, what is that, like a character? She goes, yeah, he's on like TV. She goes, so like Bob the Builder? She goes, no, Bob Vila. She goes, oh, because I'm like, who's Bob the Builder? I know who Bob the Builder is because I have a kid and I watch that shit now. So
Lala's like, when all else fails, remind people that I have a child. So meanwhile, then Scheana and Raquel.
A lot of cum on my face. So
Scheana and Raquel emerge from their changing rooms to get into what they have to wear for this process, and they're both wearing these like gray. They look like they joined a cult. They're like, well, we went to Shape House, but along the way we realized that there's like a lot of enlightenment to be had. So now we're members of the Unity of the Seven Church. So we're really excited now.
The only places they're allowed to go are places with pink lighting like Sir. It's really weird. So then we see James. He goes to Katie and Lala to the office to help them. And Lala's like, are you good at building stuff, James? And he's like, not bad, but I'm tired. All right. I mean, I could build a table, but I need glasses for that. All right.
It's like, I need instruction and I need to focus. So Lala's like, wow, you look really good, James. I almost had to say Jameson, but I didn't say it, okay? I may have to break you and your girlfriend up. Just kidding. You like my new tits? By the way, I don't think any girlfriend would love to hear that from an ex of someone. BT dubs.
Yeah. He's like, you're naughty. Did you seriously get new tits? And she's like, yeah, I got new tits and a new ear. And she shows up. I don't know what was wrong with her ear.
I would like it if it was just like a whole different person's ear.
What was wrong with her?
It's like Shel Silverstein's ear or something.
It's like a Cabbage Patch Doll ear. Like, what? Where'd you get that?
It's just like a goat ear just flopping down.
Yes, that's what I want. Like, I got a really unique giraffe ear. So, like it, my new tits.
So
he's like, he's like, oh, a new ear, did it hurt? And she goes, no, not even a little bit. He goes, whatever, I'm fine with my ears. You know, he's got some ears. And so Lala's, yeah, I kind of do too. He's kind of like, James is always somewhat ingratiating because he's always got that kid from Mad Magazine look going on where you're just like, you're a little asshole, but you were bullied, you know?
I know, that's the thing with James. It's like every time I get so mad at him, I always think about the story about how the kids on the playground like broke his arm. And like, I'm like, believe it or not, I'm actually a softie, and it like unravels everything for me. I'm like, well, he's a terrible person who does terrible things to people and really just shatters their self-esteem and says the worst, most wretched things to the people who are trying to help him the most. But he was bullied. And I'm like, aw.
But then I want to break his arm later in the season.
By the way, on Twitter today, I didn't even click on this because like I can't even click to see what this means. But one of the things that was trending on Twitter today was the phrase "bullying works." I don't know I don't know what's going on in America. But this is
that's terrible. Happening. We have to look.
Whoever
you know what? Maybe we can look we have to record our bonus later, so maybe we can look at it on our bonus episode.
Why bullying works. I don't think it does work. I'm going to say that right now.
No, don't bully.
Don't bully.
So, James is inviting them to, first of all, Katie's, of course, working. She's actually doing the work. No one else is. And Lala's like, oh my God, holy shit. You built a chair, Katie. She's like, yeah.
She's acting like Katie's Geppetto or something like that. Like she screwed the top part and the bottom part.
Yeah. And so James is like, well, I'm DJing at this new hotel if you guys want to come. Hotel Ziggy. And Lala's like, well, since I missed your last one, I'll come to this one. Are you inviting everyone?
He's like, yeah, I'm inviting everyone, even Peter and Raquel. And Katie's like, wow, well, yeah, by the way, Peter like came over and like grabbed her face and kissed her. I was like, wow.
Wow. So then we go to Scheana and Raquel, and Sheena's like, so how was the rest of last night? Did Peter take you home? She goes, yeah, he slept on the couch. Oh, really? And did you guys make out? Because you did it, sir. Yeah, at the table right in front of everybody.
Raquel's like, I'm not trying to date Peter. He just keeps on forcing me out for nachos, and I don't have the heart to tell him that they don't agree with me.
So you're just trying to get under James's skin? And she's like, yeah, I guess so. So I'm back with Lala. Lala's like, how are they even a couple? And James goes, hilarious, it's hilarious. Anyone, ha ha ha, hilarious, wiki 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 wiki.
And so then Lala asks James if Allie is living with him, and he's like, yes, she is. And she goes, oh, so you're yanking my dick right now, right? This is why I have so much cum on my face, because James Kennedy is yanking my dick. Jameson, you're yanking my dick right now. I have a child.
So then back to Scheana. She's like, are you going to Hotel Ziggy on Saturday night? Because I think Ellie's going to be there.
I have no judgment towards her whatsoever. I'm sure she's a very sweet girl, and like James is very charismatic. It does not surprise me he would wind up dating half of an 80s sitcom. So there's like so many things to love about him, and I just hope that like, you know, like that she doesn't suffer from low self-esteem like I did.
And she's like, I put my needs first to help him, and I mean, like, some stuff I tolerated back then, I look back and I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, she basically realized that like she's never cured him whatsoever. Something that I'm sure Brittany will never get to. So then Raquel is like, yeah, she's like, yeah, what was I thinking? And then it cuts back to Lala, and she's like, I remember when you like met Raquel, and like this is the same type of goo goo gaga you had for her. And James is like, yeah, but
I'm sorry to interrupt, but she ends it with, I'm just saying. Go ahead. Because Lala does this bachelor speak. It makes me fucking crazy. Everything ends with a K. Her INGs are always a K. It's like she's always in her own bachelorette. Okay, continue, Ben. Sorry for the interrupt.
Yeah, and James is like, yeah, but at that time I was also DJing at Sir, and I was also having fun here in LA. And Lala's like, oh, are we finally admitting that we were having fun? And she's basically saying like, are you finally admitting that you were fucking all these girls that you've been denying fucking all this time? And we see a montage of all these women over the years who've basically said, yeah, James and I hooked up while he was dating Raquel.
Yeah, girl number one, I have your clothes from sleeping at my house. Ding. Girl number two, Ellie. Girl number three, Hope. It's like, damn.
Just all.
Most shows, they're like, okay, they'll show people accusing them, you know, not the actual girls showing up.
Yeah.
So James is like, I didn't say that. She goes, yeah, well, James and I, when we were very new in our relationships, we definitely were hooking up. So, ha.
It's like, you're making me nervous. Please don't.
So here's my thing with Lala. You know, she's mad at Schwartz because Schwartz is hanging out with Rand, and she's about to go through a custody case with Rand. But if you're going through a custody case that you're worried about with Rand, why are you coming on national TV and admitting that you were cheating on Rand in the beginning of your marriage? Like, what are you doing? Come on.
I'm only coming on national TV because I've got so much of it on my face. Hello.
I'm not coming on national TV. National TV is coming all over me.
That would probably be her Real Housewives tagline. So
I literally pull out paper towels every time I see Mr. Nielsen's car pull up in the front drive.
Mr. Nielsen. So James tells us, he's like, you know, a lot of guys make mistakes, and obviously half of Lala wanted it to happen too, but let's not dilly-dally. She obviously had big fucking plans to get that rock on the finger, which she did, so she probably wanted to seal the deal again with JK before that. I mean, who wouldn't? Let's be real. Who don't want to seal the deal with JK? Potty wiggy wiggy.
Oh gosh. And Lala's like, yeah, that's why he said that I did handstands, like, because I literally did for him. It's like, okay, you two are still as classy as ever. Let's go see what Raquel and Scheana are doing.
Arguably the most important moment of the entire episode is here.
Yeah, their treatment is over, and Raquel's like, I'm sweating. Why aren't you sweating? And Scheana goes, my face doesn't really sweat.
I've had all my sweat glands surgically removed in my face.
Yeah.
So now we go to the Belmont. Belmont is the new Mixology 101. And so the Toms get a table, and Schwartz is like, he's like, oh, wow, look at those serving trays. They're blue. We should get them. Sandoval's like, yeah. Hey, it was interesting to see you and Katie sort of bickering like you're still together. And Schwartz is like, dude, we have like a really good friendship. That's like literally one of the first times me and Katie have bickered in months. She's like, because Lala's like creating this narrative. Some might say a convenient narrative that I chose Randall over Lala. Like, how could you do that? It's like, not that deep. I just want to play pickleball. It's been like 7 months. Like, my life was crumbling.
Yeah, and Sandoval's like, you don't owe anything to her, man. Fuck that shit. Because he still hates Lala, so he gets really a little bit over-angered.
Why was Lala coming for Sandoval last season again? I don't remember. I just remember that they got into a fight of some sort.
Yeah,
Probably
they
over
hated
Brock,
each other's guts.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'll answer next week. My head's too fuzzy today.
It's fine. You have COVID.
But Sandoval's like, yeah, you don't know her anything. And Schwartz is like, yeah, I don't know Lala a goddamn thing. Yeah, and also when Lala met Rand, her whole fucking thing was I'll suck your dick for a Range Rover. So maybe she should have known not to get fucking knocked up by a fucking dude like that, bro.
And so then Sandoval tells us, it seems like pretty insane that Lala didn't see this whole casting couch situation from Randall, considering they would role play it. And then they do show footage of Lala admitting to Stassi, like, yeah, sometimes we like pretend to do like role play where like I'll go to a hotel room and then, I'll just pretend like he's going to give me a role for a movie.
And like have to suck his dick and stuff. Oh my God. She's like, yeah. I've been there plenty of times where I'm like, come to a hotel and I'll put a wig on and be named Tiffany and do anything to be in a movie, like give you blowjobs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the literal script from all of the articles, So Sandoval's like, come on, bro. And Schwartz says that he'll sit down with her, but he's just doing it for his friendship with Katie. He doesn't give a fuck about Lala. And Sandoval's like, that's sweet, bro. That is so sweet, bro. That's why you're my bro. And Schwartz is like, yeah, because Katie loves Lala. And like, we have such a healthy divorce. I'm gonna like rebrand divorce because it's so dramatic. How about instead of saying like divorce, say, I want to start a happy new beginning. Without you. And they're like, bro.
Dude, that was funny. So then we go to James and Allie's apartments. Now we finally meet Allie. And James is like basically making orders on how she should dress. He's like, we have to do the champagne one. And she's like, yeah, no. He goes, no, why? The champagne goes better with my shirt more. Remember what I said? You champagne, me non-champagne, complementary colors. What's so difficult about this? And she comes out and she's like, I thought I was wearing this one.
And did you notice that is a Sir season 1 through 5 uniform?
I did not notice. Wow.
Almost exactly. Yeah. I was like, wow, Allie, being a little transparent with our goals there, are we?
That's sad to go from Soho House.
You're literally going to come dressed as a waitress from Sir to the first Vanderpump Rules party.
Yeah. If you're at Soho House, there's no reason for you to go to Sir. No reason.
Well, she can still keep her Soho House job and just shoot at Sir,
Yeah, I guess
Does anybody work at Sir? I don't think anybody
Does anyone work at Soho House? How about that? Does anyone really work there? So, anyway, so they're all getting dressed, getting ready, and now they're all going to Hotel Ziggy. And James shows up at the DJ stand, and he's like, she shows up, and then Lala walks up and talks about how she was once like hooked up with a guy in the parking lot at the hotel and everything, and then they all come in and they meet James. James is like, yeah, I do a gig here once a month, but they're thinking about bumping me up to 2 times a month. I was like, wow, that's a huge amount of regularity. I guess it's like you're not doing Coachella. I don't know. I just feel like it's cool that you're doubling your gigs there, but like 2 times a month is still like.
So did you already talk about Lala banging the guy?
I kind of brushed over it, but if you'd like to elaborate on it.
It's just Lala, like everywhere they go. She's like, yeah, last time I was here, it wasn't Ziggy. I was with Faith, and I made Faith and her dude wait in the parking lot while I banged the guy in the car. It's like, God, can we just get a hamburger? You know what I mean?
I know.
So, it's every fucking place they go to. So they hug James, and then Allie, they all sit with Allie, and Lala's like, so, Allie, have you had any injections in your whole fucking life? I mean, look at your face. And she's like, no, never. She goes, yeah, well, you have full lips already. I mean, you have full lips and everything already, so you're good. But then she tells us, James loves a thin-lipped bitch. Excuse you.
You just said that she was you just said that she had like naturally full lips. She goes, I mean, first Raquel, now Allie, and even I was a thin-lipped bitch back when we started banging. I was like, okay. So
she's not a thin-lipped bitch. How dare you?
Yeah. So then Allie starts saying, she's saying how like, this has been like the most spontaneous thing I've ever done. Like this really just like surpasses all my work on The Valley, one of Dayton, Ohio's greatest reality show conquests of all time. Anyway, everything just happened so fast, much like The Valley, that they were just like, we're just having so much fun and just like happened. It just felt so organic. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I wanted to be on a reality show. I saw a lonely, sad man on a reality show and I was like, I'll just date him. It just felt like organic.
Yeah. And then, of course, Raquel and Peter come in and the drama music. And Lala's like, oh, have you met her? And she goes, like, briefly. So now it's hugs with everybody. And Raquel and her exchange compliments. Like, oh, my God, love your outfit. Oh, my God, you too. And Raquel and Peter go get a drink. And Raquel looks back and is checking Allie. Like, they make it look like Raquel is very bothered, you know?
And Peter is so deluded about where he stands with Raquel. He's like, this is going to be so fun. And she's like, so fun.
So fun.
He goes, yeah?
So fun.
Goes, yeah. So fun.
She says so fun like you spell so fun when you really don't want to do something like so fun. S-A-F-U-N.
It's like she's about to say Sephora, but she says so fun instead.
So fun.
So Scheana shows up in the classic Scheana way. Hello. And then all the Toms come in. And
classic crop top Scheana. I love my Scheana. She keeps it real, you know? She comes in her classic crop top outfit, which, as we all know, Auntie started. So.
and then OG Logan shows up. The original Logan, because he was part of the scandal of him saying that he hooked up with James Kennedy back in season 6.
Oh, yes.
You know? Yes. So OG Logan's back. And then James gets on. James thanks the audience. He's like, thank you all for. I don't remember even what he said. I just wrote down that James thanks the audience, which is hilarious because he's just like DJing at the side of a pool.
So Katie and Logan are talking, and some shirtless guy comes by in a towel, and he's like, and he's kind of hot, I guess. And Logan's like, oh my God, go get that guy. And Katie's like, I can't. Tom's around. And he's like, so what? Tom's always going to be around. And she's like, so far, he hasn't been around for most of my happenings. Like, oh, please, because they've been in a stitching bitch in the Valley. It's some fucking cat one of those stores where you pet cats.
And then meanwhile, Schwartz is talking to Peter. And Peter's like, so how's it feeling being single tonight? And Schwartz is like, I'm just numb. I have no desire to date, to be with another human being. But how's it going with Raquel? And Peter's like, oh, the chemistry is awesome. Like, it's flowing. You know, we'll just see what happens. I like her, so I'll keep pursuing. But like, yeah, the chemistry is so good. She couldn't even stand next to me tonight. Like, she just every time I go up to her, she just goes away because it's like so much chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
So then Lala is talking to Katie that she found a guy that she might like. And Katie's like, yeah, that guy is hot. And Lala's like, oh my God, I totally don't even remember how to do this anymore. It's just like so crazy. So what is it, Lala? So anyway, I can't with Lala.
So Lala's like, this is like my first time being single and sober. Like, I don't have anything to lube me up. I mean, I guess down there I have something to lube me up. I'm talking about my vagina. I can put lube on my vagina to make it wet and greasy for a penis to go in. That what I'm saying is I love dick, but sometimes dick needs something sort of like a jelly, something sort of wet to make it go smoother. You know what I'm saying? I love it.
So she goes up and says hi to the group, and the guy's like, so how old are you? She goes, 31. And he goes, that's within my bracket. Ew.
She goes, I'm looking for a one-nighter, so we're good. And then she goes, I have my kids tonight. And he goes, great, I'll be quiet. Which I actually thought was a pretty clever, flirtatious response back.
So Raquel
I don't know why I'm giving
decides.
him notes. I'm like, guys, I have some thoughts about that guy.
Yeah, super classy.
As those responses go, I respected it.
So Raquel,
witticism.
Raquel, I'm gonna kill you. So Raquel is like, clearly this girl's not going anywhere, so I'm gonna go say hi to the girl, right? So she pulls her aside for a chat. And James, of course, sees it immediately because all he does is press play on his goddamn computer, and we all know it. So he's like, why is Raquel pulling Allie aside for a conversation? Why is Raquel pulling Allie aside for a conversation? So she pulls her aside, and Raquel's like, look, I just wanted to check in with you because, like, I still care about James, and, like, I just want to make sure that he's good and stuff.
Well, I'm so glad we got to talk because, like, I want to be considerate of your feelings. I mean, especially now that we're in the same circle now. Like, I'm in your cast now is what I'm trying to say, you know? And Raquel's like, well, it's just hard because, like, obviously you're in love with the guy and I was too. And Allie goes, I appreciate your guys' relationship because he would have been completely different if he didn't have you. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, thanks for basically being his finishing school, but you sort of didn't finish anything, making him ready for me. Thanks.
It is like that, right? It's that thing when you break up with someone and they're a mess, but then the next person, they're ready for the next person, you know, because you trained them.
Yeah, you trained them. You're like, wait, why didn't you just act this way with me? Because that's how I wanted you to act.
However, that is not the case here. Yeah. However, that is not the case here.
Yeah, I don't think James has learned anything from his relationship with Raquel.
James is actually worse, you know?
Yes.
So, let's see. So they're, like, really glad that they talked, right? And because, like, he's so motivated and fun. And she's like, well, I'm not going to take it. And Raquel's like, yeah, because I was kind of shy around him. She goes, oh, yeah? Well, I'm not going to be shy.
Yeah.
So his world's about to get rocked. And Raquel's like, yes, good.
And I like that.
I support you. You got this. You go, girl.
And Allie is like, he's just like a fast person. Like, he goes 100 miles per minute. And it cuts to him at the DJ booth going, go, 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 go. I'm like, he's not a fast person. He's just on coke. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. So then the hot guy in the towel crawls over them, and Raquel's like, excuse me. He's like, hey, can I get you shot or anything? It's Jax. They don't show his face, but we all know it's fucking Jax walking around there in a towel.
Yeah, it definitely is. And so Raquel's like, I'll pass. And the guy goes, oh, because you're sitting on my fucking couch. Like, oh. And she goes, well, you're kind of interrupting, so... And
then they get up to walk away, and she goes, oh, I'm way too tall for you, by the way.
And you know that they got him good because he didn't allow his face to be shown. And that's kind of funny. Like, if you put in the work to have a body like that, but then are too embarrassed to show your face on TV.
And you're walking around in nothing but a towel at a filmed party. You know? What a shithead. So they go to... Now we're dancing. Party. Lala goes to the cheesy guy in Burberry. And Schwartz pulls Lala aside to talk. Okay, so Schwartz is like, hey, can we talk? I don't want to deny your feelings, but I really love people with 2-syllable nicknames. So... You know, you're friends with Bubba, and I still want to be friends with Lala. Okay? Let's figure this out.
Yeah. From my point of view, it seems absurd. I mean, like, the cheating is horrible, but you completely cut me out of your life for hanging out with someone 7 months afterwards. She goes, listen, I don't ask for much, except for the fact that every season I make demands on all my friends. But I would never.
I was going to say, since when?
Literally every season, there's like a list of things you have to do or not do to be with Lala. But she's like, I would never over cheating say you can't hang out with someone, except of course, like, I would always say that. But I got on that rooftop and it was me, it was the girls, it was a whole lot of enchiladas. And I was very clear. I'm going into something that is going to be life-changing for me. And if you don't want to be on my team, that's fine. But I can't have you around me. Like, I'm on Lala's side, but I do think the rooftop thing is crazy. And
she's ridiculous. She's like, it was on Scheana's rooftop.
I know.
How dare you?
And Schwartz is like, I'll be honest. The fact that you wanted to have a meeting, it felt a little egocentric to me.
And she goes, oh, to say it's egocentric isn't cool. You better take that back. You better take that back. To have a meeting on Scheana's rooftop about my situation? How dare you call that egocentric?
We had to come up with a password to get in. Okay, do you know how hard that was? And a special bell?
That was an enchilada-centric meeting.
I won't take it back. It was from my point of view. I felt like that. And Lala's like, well, from my point of view, you're weak. He's like,
You're weak. Well, if this had happened to anyone else, it would take them fucking out. Wait, what? It would take
she's
them.
saying why she's
She
not
goes,
weak.
if this happened to somebody else, I would take them. Oh, this would take them fucking out. But I wake up every morning. I provide for my kid. I pay out the ass for the fucking lawyers, and I'm not a weak bitch.
I like she says that if she's like the first single mom who's been in this situation.
I love that she sounds like she's the opening of Alice, like Linda driving in her station wagon, down the freeway in New Mexico.
I mean, it's funny because the truth is, yeah, she is doing that, and it is cool, and it does suck that she's in that position, and good for her. Truly, I'm like angry saying good for her, but she's also saying it in a way of being like, other people, this destroys everyone else, but I can do it. It's like, yeah, no, I'm glad you can do it, but like, there are a lot of people out there who are doing it and are in much less privileged positions.
The timing of it was just all crazy too, because she left. She was loving him all last year. Last year, everything was perfect. Everything was great. She loves her man.
Yeah.
The problem happened when the articles came out saying he was broke, and it turns out he owed all this money to all these people, and he was in all these lawsuits, and she was out of there like immediately.
Yeah.
So she's like, and this is black and white. And if you choose me, or you're my enemy. You have to take a side. And he goes, you don't think that sounds absurd? And she goes, this is the year of burning bridges.
Like, how about you just don't involve everyone in your custody battle? How about you just do it and you just do it, But that being said, it's like the funny thing is I'm actually agreeing with her because Schwartz should not have been hanging out with Randall. It's fucked up, But this is the glory of the show. Is that you ping
this is
pong back and
Vanderpump Rules,
forth
right?
between-
You don't have to agree with
wrong.
anybody. Like
Everyone's
you can,
wrong.
Yeah. It's the beauty of Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah. So Schwartz is like, well, when I hung out with Randall, it was not malicious. What you sent me via text was malicious. So you took a dig at my marriage and you said I don't associate with weakness. So do you stand by that? She's like, right. I don't associate with weakness. I only marry it for a little bit. She goes, fine. Well, who the fuck do you think you are? Because I'm not spending the rest of my life with the woman I love, and we're not going to have kids, and we're not going to grow old together, and I'm not worried about what's going on in Lala's life, to be frank, because of that.
Yeah, he's like, that hurt my feelings at the lowest point in my life. And then we get close-ups of everybody in the cast, which is really weird. It's like close-up. Here's what Scheana talking about tacos very slowly, and James wiggying very slowly, and then it cuts to Raquel, and she's just staring straight into the camera, like, "Are you looking at me, or am I looking at you,
She's actually
or are we looking at us?"
She's just looking at an application for American Express. It's on like a counter. What? Just have to fill that out.
Yeah.
And that's the end of Vanderpump Rules. So pretty amusing first episode back. Looking forward to it. I'm glad it's like about real shit this season so far. I'm into it. But I'm always super optimistic at the top of every season. So what do I know? But anyway, thanks everyone for being here. Don't forget to go vote for the Crappies. Come to the show. You can come live, come virtually. I forgot to mention that at the top of the show. It's going to be streamed on Moment House. Go to watchcrappens.com for all the links to the ballots, the tickets, or just come see us at a different show. Either way, thanks for being here, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Dana C. Dana Do. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Can't stop fanning over Tina Manning.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya.
Christy Wowardy Dowardy.
The Bay Area Betches, Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke.
Undo your fasteners, it's Aaron Kastner.
We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill. Make it lastner with Aaron Kastner.
We want to hang with Liz Lang.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.